Hi, and welcome to Cruise News with Brad Poirier, aka B-Rad Celebrity Stylist, here with Kim Weaver-Moore, our Educator Spotlight that we're doing today. So Kim has been a hairstylist for 27 years, a salon owner for 11. She has worked with Aveda. She is a creator of the DVD, The Formula, and she has been on 6 seasons of New York Fashion Week. And she has also been, drumroll, awarded the patent for the Head Shape Matters cutting system. So Kim, tell us about your patent journey.
Oh my goodness, it's a long journey.
Yeah.
Well, first of all, I'll just say it's just really important to me on many levels. So a big girl power shout out right here. I did some research to look at patents and how many patents are awarded to women. And of all the patents that have been awarded, only 7.5% are awarded to women.
Wow.
And so, yeah, that's not a big percentage.
Mm-mm.
And to be in that number is pretty amazing. And also, of that 7.5%, 90, I think it's like 93.7% have higher degrees of learning, and then 45% are PhDs. So
Wow.
I think for one of us hairstylists to be awarded a patent is a big deal.
It is definitely, yes.
I am super, super excited for what this means and all the things that's going to come from it. But the journey itself, because so much of this is math and science,
Mm-hmm.
and that's not my background. I don't enjoy math. I didn't understand what I was looking for.
Mm-hmm.
I knew the answers I was trying to find, but I didn't know how to find them, because once I started researching, I started seeing patterns in the research. And so I knew that meant math, which scared me to death. But I had to keep searching for the answers. And I do a lot of Sudoku now. I didn't used to, but I do now. And it helped me to know that the answer's always there. And sometimes it can be extremely hard to find, but it's there.
Yes.
And if you keep looking, and you keep looking at it different ways, and you keep approaching it, that eventually you'll find the answer. And so that's what I had to do. It just took years of me looking at these numbers and going, okay, what does this mean? How do I put this into a format that we can learn? Because, most of us don't have a degree in math.
No. Most stylists aren't good with numbers at all. They're great stylists. They're terrible with numbers, terrible with accounting, terrible business. They just want to create their artist, right?
That's right. And so that was another piece of it. Like, how do I present this to a bunch of creatives? Because that's what I am, and that's how I always cut hair. And so that in itself was a big journey on how do I present information in a way that people will want to hear it, and want to receive it. So it's definitely been a journey.
Oh, indeed. Because I know when I watched your video on Facebook, I was very moved with your story and inspirational, which I want to have another talk with you on a deeper level, just about how having to go through that journey, and that not everything is always sunshine and roses and everything like that. That we all have an incredible journey to sometimes overcome, and the biggest dreams also come with challenges. They come with obstacles. They come with twists and turns that you would never expect. You can be on top of the world one moment, and the next moment just in a completely different "where am I, what happened" type of space. But you've been doing hair for 27 years. You obviously must have been doing it most of your life, the majority of your life. So how did you get your start in the hair industry? How did you know that it was for you?
I had gone to college at East Carolina University and was going to do fashion design.
Oh, wow.
And so, but while I was in college, always, when we got ready to go out, which was almost every night in college, I was the last one to get ready because I had to do everybody's hair before we went out.
Yes.
And just had natural talent. Even in high school, I'd just bring people home and say, let me do your hair, let me do your makeup.
Yeah.
And just always loved doing it and had a natural ability and talent.
Oh, okay. Wow.
And so then after a year at college, I just said, what am I doing? I'm going to college for everybody else. And I really want to do hair. Yeah. So I dropped out of college and went to cosmetology school, and that was in 88, 89.
Yeah.
And I've loved it. I've never looked back. Yeah.
I know it's even going to school, it can have its challenges. I'm sure our viewers can relate that learning, because even for myself, when I went to school, I worked in salons since I was 14, but by the time I got to hairdressing school, it was I guess my mind was more set in forward thinking, so a lot of the stuff I did was more beyond what we're doing in class, and they said, you should be a platform artist. So obviously I did that for many, many years, and I did competition for 8 years and stuff like that. But, tell me about your passion for the industry, like the beauty industry itself. So, hair encompasses, there's hair, beauty, fashion, just a lot of things that are going on within the industry. Can you elaborate a little bit on your passion? That's something that comes in and that exudes from within you towards the industry?
Yes. My passion is definitely for cutting. It became really, really strong once I became a hair cutting educator. And I honestly, I had taken a class and someone had seen me present information and just, just that you need to be an educator. Yes. And so I, was, grateful for that and said thank you. But at the time, I couldn't travel. I was gone from divorce, 2 small children.
Yes.
Timing wasn't right to do that. And so about a year and a half later, the same company or the same person saw me present again and was like, you have to do this. So corporate called me and said, please come and teach for us. So at that time, it was a little bit better timing for me, and so I went, and they said, well, what do you want to do, cut or color? And I said, well, I could, either one's fine with me, And so they said cutting, that they need more cutting educators. So I said, well, let's do cutting.
Yes.
But once I became a cutting educator, it became very important to me to truly understand hair cutting if I was going to teach.
Yes, exactly. Yeah, so many of us need it, and I think so many people have seen educators on the stage, and they think to themselves, I'm so much better than them, sort of thing. But to delve deep and to really understand it, to really know it, to really break it down, I think is incredible. You know what I mean? And definitely on the right journey. So I'll keep getting you to expand on that.
I realized that there were some things that I didn't understand that I could improve upon, because it's one thing to cut what I call by ear.
Yes.
People can play music by ear. It's a natural talent. I have a natural talent for hair.
Yes.
I could make things happen, but not really understand how I got there or why I got there. But once you become an educator, it's so important to understand the why of what you're doing so that you can explain it.
Yes, definitely.
Hey, do it this way. That's not okay. That's not sufficient as an educator. And so I really wanted to understand hair cutting. So I stopped coloring hair behind the chair. I owned my own salon at this point.
Yes.
And increased my time for my haircuts. And told my clients I couldn't talk anymore.
Yes.
Really, I did. They let me do that.
Yeah, I guess too. Talking with your clients is great to socialize, but it does eat a lot of your time up. And I guess if time is money, if you're taking twice as long to cut a client's hair when you could be doing, you could be much more efficient and that sort of thing as well.
Absolutely, and not just that. For me, it wasn't about the money. It was about understanding. Because I knew there was stuff I didn't understand.
Yes.
And so, and that bothered me. I wanted to really understand. And for me, it's about focus. I needed to stop talking so I wasn't focusing on what they were telling me or my conversation.
Yes.
I wanted to focus on what was happening in the hair. And so, they were very gracious and let me get away with that.
Yeah.
They were like my guinea pigs, and they were okay with it.
Of course, but obviously when you have your laser focus going on, you're seeing the hair in a whole different light, I would imagine, as opposed to, as you say, cutting by ear, where you just pick it up, everything's in autopilot. You just pick it up, cut it off, lay it down. You're not really looking. There you go. But when you're actually looking at the hair, looking at angles, looking at the direction, looking how it falls, seeing, and that's the biggest thing, because I know with the haircut, it does really matter, because basically a lot of hairstylists, I think, have this issue with layering, and I think that is one of the biggest problems, is layering the hair, where they tend to have, either when they say, where do you want your layer, they take it, they pick it up, they drop it and say, okay, here, and they bring everything up, because we all learn, I believe, universally, we all learn the pivot point cutting system, which is, the maximum amount of, cutting in the minimum amount of time, but it also leaves a lot of lines, a lot of unblended, ends and things like that, or a lot of people have beveling not when they necessarily don't want it, or they cut and they have a cap, they want long layers, but they have a cap from just below the, the chin down sort of thing. And that's why with your system, I was excited just because I had just seen, just one of your videos, I believe, on YouTube, and it changed my cutting style dramatically, even though I'm a great, cutter, and my clients love the work that I do, but just by using one point from your system, it just changed my whole entire world, and now clients are raving even more so than they were before. So that I want to say thank you. And I know that with your system, I really love you to expand on a little bit more, because I know you'll be teaching on the 2016 Hairstylist Cruise, and I just want you to let our viewers know, the ones that are potentially taking your class, because I know if they haven't yet, it's filling up and it'll be almost sold out. So if you haven't registered already, make sure to take Kim's class. So I'm going to let her fill you in on now what she's going to be teaching, entice you a little bit, and kind of, go from there to think if this is for you. And for me personally, I think it's for everyone. Everyone should go to Kim Weaver's class plural, classes, because she's teaching more than one thing, and I'm going to let her elaborate a little bit more, so whet your appetite, and so let us know what you're going to do, Kim, for the 2016 cruise.
Okay, so one of the classes I'm teaching, and I'm so excited about, it's all about really the essence of the pattern, which is head shape matters, and that is the head shape that we're cutting on changes our cuts. And so we can do the exact same cut on two different people, and if their head shape is different, which I promise you that it is,
yes,
it will look like two different cuts.
Wow.
And sometimes we think, one day we do this particular haircut and we nail it, it looks amazing.
That's right.
And then another time we do it on another client, it's like, I suck. What in the world?
What happened? My client yesterday loved it. I don't think I did anything different, but and it happened. That's right, and I think it's very common. It's very common in the in the salons and especially when people are, as I say, cutting by autopilot. But getting back into yours. Tell us a little bit more about what you're teaching us.
Yeah, one of the classes I'm doing is just teaching stylists how to do a head shape analysis and how to really look at a client's head and see what's going on, because taught to do that. I've heard, pay attention to head shape. What does that mean? Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, I'll pay attention to it.
Of course, yeah. But
what does that mean? Why do we change our angles?
Yes.
If their head shape is flat, But before we can even make adjustments to our cuts, we have to understand the head shape. And part of my system is doing a head shape analysis, where the head shape is divided into hairlines. We look at and measure the height and width of different quadrants, which is really cool to see, because you're going to see people in this class who may have 9 inches of scalp to work with, and somebody else might have 4 inches of scalp to work with. That absolutely changes our cuts. $100%.
Definitely.
And also, what types of planes are we dealing with on that head? Do they have a really wide or flat top of the head? If so, and they have a side part, that hair, that top hair, that guide length is going to have to travel way over to ever get to the side of the head.
Yes.
Whereas if somebody like me has like an A-frame house, and
Yes.
if I have a side part, it can come over and go, whoop, it's already on the side of my head.
Yes.
See what I'm saying? So it can change our cut without us ever knowing what happened.
Yeah.
And so in one of the classes, it's all about learning how to do a head shape analysis and understand what you're looking for. And what is your head shape?
Yeah.
And as a stylist, what's going on with my hair? What are the challenges that I always have with haircuts? Always, my whole life, I've had a challenge with getting a step right here.
Yes.
Why?
Yeah.
There's a reason why, and it's almost always the head shape.
See, that I think, just taking that in itself, you know what I mean? It's going to be life-changing for people, that the lights are going to go off, the epiphanies are going to be there. They're going to now I know why I keep getting, when I do the side part, why do I keep getting it cut off here, sort of thing. Why is it not blending? It's the same on this side to this side, but why is my client telling me it's uneven? I think the visual as well is a big thing, and knowing your own head shape is very important, because I find for some stylists that somebody says, I really like your hair, because they see the stylist's hair. The client says, I really like your hair, do that for me. So they end up doing the same thing on that client as they have. And then the client is disappointed when they're done, because it's not exactly the same, haircut, technically.
Yeah, it looks totally different. I've got some videos on YouTube that you can look at, where I took 3 different styrofoam heads. I cut them differently, their head shape, and so I made like a flat head, a head that looked like a stop sign, and then another head that was just rounded. And I took the same weft of hair, cut it into square layers, and then I put it on all 3 of these styrofoam mannequin heads.
Oh, wow.
It is mind-blowing how different it looks on all 3.
Yeah, and I think that's the thing that people don't realize. The head shape itself. If we all had shaved heads, and we can actually see what the head looks like, if you have a flat spot on across the top, in the back, you have no nape, or you have protruding, because a lot of times I even with men's cuts, you'll get some men that say, can you get it tighter here? But it's not that it's any longer on that side. It's the head shape that protrudes out that makes it look like you've missed that part of, that part of the hair, where you have to adjust. I find it even the same for cutting sideburns, cutting things like that, because our ears, tend to be one a little bit lower than the other, an eyebrow a little bit higher than the other. We're not perfectly symmetrical on both sides of our head. Like one, we have a masculine side and a feminine side of the face. So one is more rounded, one is more square. You got one foot that's bigger, one foot that's smaller. So things like that, we're dealing with all the time. And it's great that you developed a system where we can just have it broken down for us, where it can actually see I mean, I think to be a better cutter is gold, because I mean, you can be a great colorist and stuff like that, but if your haircut isn't wonderful, the client's going to feel that just not as satisfied as they would be, because that's the biggest thing. If they have a great haircut where it will just flow, they don't have to worry about it, it grows out wonderfully, it works with their head shape, because I know this is a definite class I'll be in, and I think everybody else should be too, because if you want to really increase your business, you have to have great skill. And without great skill, you know what I mean, you really need that education to delve into what Kim has done, what Kim has gotten a patent for, what Kim, struggled, blood, sweat, and tears for, that it will really make a difference, in your life. So Kim, if somebody was considering taking your classes on the cruise, who is your ideal student?
It's really anybody, because it's an area that we've not really touched on. So and honestly, in my classes, in my online training courses, the average age or time in the industry is people that's been doing hair 20, 30 years.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
That's the average time. And that says a lot, because these are very seasoned stylists that know that there's more. Mm-hmm. That there's something else out there. There's a piece that we haven't seen yet. Mm-hmm. And they all say, if we hadn't known this from the beginning of our career.
Yes.
Or if this could be in schools. Mm-hmm. That's the big things that I hear. And it validates for a lot of us that did cut by ear. Yes. Mm-hmm. And didn't have a way to explain to somebody else what it is you're doing. Mm-hmm. Because you can bring in an assistant or an apprentice, and you're trying to show them how to cut hair, but you don't really understand or have a language or a verbiage to put on these things that you do from instinct or from years of experience.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you just do. Yeah. Yeah.
So it kind of validates people. It gives verbiage or language and the whys of the things that we do. So it's not only just the seasoned stylist, but if I can get to people fresh out of school or new in the industry, anybody that struggles with haircutting, so many of the struggles we go through are so unnecessary.
Very much so. Very, very much so. Yes.
We just knew, after I found these things, I'm like, it was right there all the time, but I just never saw it.
No.
And when I saw it, it was like, oh my God, it's like, oh.
Yes.
It's like, honestly, like the skies opened, the angels sang, and I saw a whole new world.
Oh, of course. Yeah. I really think, and that's what it is, because when you're training in school and you're doing your layers, and that's probably one of the most common problems I think a lot of your students have, is how to layer properly and things like that. Because in school you say, well, these layers are uneven, these layers are choppy, and all they tell you is use your thinning shears and thin it out, and that'll soften up your line. So I imagine most of the people that contact you, it's about layering, and I think you're also teaching on the cruise as well. You have a segment on layering. Can you break that down a little bit for us as well?
Absolutely. So one thing I would like to challenge anybody listening to do, if you've ever had an issue with choppy layers, or having to go back in after you finish a cut and do a lot of point cutting or blending or texturizing. Pay attention when you have a client on your books and they're coming in for long layers. Look and see if they're choppy right now, like if they have choppy layers right now, or if their layers look blended.
Yes.
After you finish cutting, before you start point cutting, is it now choppy?
Yes.
And if it is, that means that we just did that.
Oh, okay. Yes.
Does that make sense?
We created those weight lines in the hair.
We created the weight lines. Why? And how? Because if we're doing what we've been taught to do and what the industry standard is, why did we just make a step? Not how do I fix the step real quick. Why is it there in the first place?
Yes.
And that's what the class is going to teach you. Why are the steps there? Why is it the things that we've been taught are actually creating these steps?
And I think that's the biggest issue for a lot of stylists. They don't know where the lines came from. They don't know where the weight line comes from. They don't know how come this isn't connected to that part on the head. And I think it's one of the number one things that a lot of stylists knew just out of school. And also, like you say, people have been doing 20, 30 years. Some of them are still making the same, or because they've learned that way, they tend to cut that way year after year after year after year, never really learning anything new. They may take a show in here and there. They say, I have 30 years experience, but 30 years of the same year repeated is not, is not moving forward. And definitely, and that's one of the reasons we wanted to create this cruise as well, because we know that there is such a demand for better education, for better stylists, for people that want to learn and grow. And that's why we have the cream of the crop, the best of the best educators on this cruise. And that's why you, Kim Weaver-Moore, are on this cruise, because you have something that you can give to these people that, that can just be a sponge off you. Because when I read the list of your credentials, I bowed down to you, because you are so incredibly awesome, but you also paid your dues. And it's not like, hey, I had this great idea and boom, it's done. I mean, your journey and your story, we will get a little bit deeper. But for those that don't know, I mean, take Kim's class, because it's going to be so well worth it. I just saw her on YouTube and it changed my life. You know what I mean? And now talking with Kim, to know the actual person behind the system is just incredible. I think you'll be blown away when you sit, in her class. You know what I mean? It's just, you can feel that passion. You can feel it, just exude right out of Kim, that she really wants, to invest in you and change your life, just for the better, to be a better stylist, to be, just a better person. Because I think when you learn more technique and you get better at what you do, you have more confidence and you grow and you want to share, with others. So Kim, how excited are you to be part of educating the 2016 Hairstylist Cruise?
I think it's about time that we did something like this. Woohoo! It's so awesome. And the beauty of Facebook is that we get to cheer each other on. We have made friends with people all over the world through social media, and watch each other's kids grow up, or celebrate little victories in each other's lives. But this is a chance for all of us to kind of come together in one place and actually connect, hold hands, hug, touch those people that have made such an impact on my life. In the journey of going for this patent and developing this system, I wanted to give up so many times, but because my friends in the industry supported me and loved me through it. It got me through. It's the only way. And so, I can't wait to just get my hands on some people and just love on them for the love they've shown me.
That's right. Yes. Oh, yes. So I know that, if people now are probably saying, I can't sign up fast enough. But if they wanted to know a little bit more about you, where should they go to find out more?
Okay, well, my website is headshapematters.com. So that's a great place to start. On Facebook, my teacher page is Kim Moore Hair Education. On YouTube, it's Kim Moore Hair Education, or Kim Moore Hair. There's another Kim Moore on YouTube, but she's a dancer.
Oh, so, that's not you.
I do have a little rhythm, but
Yes.
that's not me. So
No.
Kim Moore Hair.
Okay.
On Facebook, I'm at my friends limit, but it's Kim Weaver Moore, so you can still follow me there. So yeah.
That's awesome. Yeah, that's perfect. So, I mean, if you have any questions, you know, you can reach out to Kim Weaver Moore. I think she'd be more than happy to engage with you. Or you can just make comments below this video within the group, and then Kim will be sure to get back to you. I'll also post a list of her classes so that you can see and you can decide, and to make sure that you sign up, you know, right away. As I say, I believe her classes are almost full, so it's good to get in there now, so then you can get a head start on, you know, and head shape does really matter. I thank you, Kim, and I'm looking forward to seeing you on the cruise. And yeah, this has been exciting. Wow, it's yeah. We normally do 15-minute interviews. My one with Kim lasted over 30 minutes. So obviously she has a lot to share, a lot to tell. Yeah, you know, double the time because she has so much. I mean, obviously check out her social media, check out her website. You know, her list of credentials is amazing. Just to be near her, you'll be in awe. And if you like, check out the replay on Periscope, because we'll be doing one live now. So we'll head over there. And thank you, Kim.
Thank you.
Hey, it's B-Rad Celebrity Stylist. I'm so glad that you enjoyed today's interview with our 2016 Hairstylist Cruise Educator. Do me a favor and comment below with your questions or comments, and let your educator know that you really love their interview, or if you have any questions, they can get back to you. I'm sure they'll really appreciate it. Hey, are you a cruise attendee, an educator, or a prize winner on the 2016 Hairstylist Cruise and would like to be interviewed? Just to share, you know, a little bit about you, you can personal message me, Brad Poirier, right here on Facebook. If you want to know more cruise news, extended interviews, go to Periscope at BradCelebrityHairstylist.com. My handle there is Brad Does Hair, and make sure to follow me. Thank you, have a great day, and we'll see you on the seas.